Right, so this is my robot. As you can see, it's got two motors here and here, and a motor at the front. Got a colour sensor there, and we've got these two motors. Got these two motors going to B and C, and that one to A. The touch sensor there going to port 1, and the colour sensor on the front going to port 3. I haven't added any more sensors yet, but I will do that very shortly. Hey guys, this is me again. This is just basically a tutorial of Mindstorms in its simplest form, and also how to get your robot to go forward and backwards, etc. Just to show what each button does. Can look a bit confusing, so just open up Mindstorms. And after we've opened up Mindstorms, start a new program that's called Simple, for example. Go. So now this is your work area. This is where all your programs are made and everything is made. So down the left hand side here we have the move, which makes your robot go forwards and backwards, which looks like this. And with all these down here that we talked about last time, and also so that's that one. Now for complicated things, a record play. So once you drag that in, comes up with this, all this here. Now basically what it is it can record what the robot does, or what the motor's done that you selected for a certain amount of time, and then you can save it and then play that later on if you just want to basically repeat everything it did in that 30 seconds. So if you want to get it to somewhere twice but at different times, this is perfect for that. Then we have a sound button, which when in a certain time you can have your NXT to play a sound, for example.
Good morning.
Or
good job.
Or even
goodbye.
To make it a bit more fun. It's not necessary, but it's always a bit more fun. And you can have it repeating and wait for the sound to complete. So after that, we get down to the display button, which when you drag into there, you can choose what pattern you want, so you can choose that, for example. And what this basically is when you drag it in on the NXT screen, it comes up with this, so you can put text in, things like that. You just go into text. Let's put hello judges, for example, and then it comes up. So that's basically your screen. You can change the position of it if you just change the coordinates, for example. Now we come up to the weight, which is quite important. What you basically do, if you scroll across here, you got the time, the touch, the light, the sound, and the ultrasonic distance sensors. And after when you drag them in, it waits until something's activated. So for example, touch sensor. The touch sensor is pressed. When the touch sensor is pressed, it'll go into its next program. Released. After it's released, it'll go into its next instruction. So you get the idea. You can change the port and change with its time or sensor, and also change all the sensors here. So we got to the loop, which is what we sort of covered last time with the following the black line. So basically whatever you put inside there, so for example a move, it will repeat it for however long you want. It's quite good. rid of that. Then also the switch, which switches on the touch sensor from like B to C, for example. It'll switch that. So now we've got all this side sorted out. Just go down here. So, got starting from top. We have the NXT. So after you click that, as long as your NXT is connected, so it'll come up here. Mine isn't connected at the moment. It tells you the name of it, the battery, how many volts it's got in it, what type of connection it is, whether it's Bluetooth or USB, and free storage. So if you're using Bluetooth, this is how you connect your NXT to the computer. So let's say if I go into open. So let's say you've got a really long program like this, but your robot's stopped right at the very end of the program, and you want to see what would happen if you put an extra rotation onto it or something. This is perfect. So let's make that two rotations with a curve on it. So you don't want to run all that program again. So what you basically do, press that and press the play with brackets around it, and that basically means it'll play whatever's selected. So if you select all that, it'll play all that. It's quite a good tool. Down at the bottom, if your robot is connected by Bluetooth or USB, as long as it's connected, if your robot is halfway through a mission, you don't have to get up and stop the robot by pressing the button on the NXT. You can just press this and it just stops the robot. Great. That's because it's not connected. Then we have the download button. So it'll download whatever you want to your NXT. So whatever programs around here, it'll download to it. And then you got to go and select the file name and just press play. And then in the middle, finally, we have the download and run. So it'll do exactly the same as that. Download it. And it'll also run it without you having to press it. So that's that there. Don't worry about these things down here. They're just basically different icons to what that is. So that's the simplest form, because it basically says the picture is what it means basically. So now let's get your robot to move in a straight line for the first simple thing. So depending which ports you've got your motors in, so I've got mine in B and C. You could have them in A and B, or A and C. You get the idea. So you select, first of all you select your motors, then down here where it says direction, I select forward, backwards, or stop altogether. Stop is useful if you've used like following the light sensor line and it stops it straight instead of it moving one motor to the side or something. So after you've selected that, forward, we go on to power. Power is basically how fast it goes. It's like your car with accelerator. The more you put your foot down, the faster it goes. The more you drag this around, the more it goes. Or you can manually input it there. So let's say 50, for example. Now, in this list here, we have an unlimited, degrees, rotations, and seconds. Basically what it is unlimited, the motors will turn for a limited amount of times until the battery runs out, basically. Degrees is, if you imagine one full rotation is 360 degrees, and you can set it for that. So if you want it to go halfway, you can set it for 180 degrees. or 180 degrees basically equals half a rotation. So rotation means how many times the motor moves one full rotation. And finally, seconds. So you can have it going for 10, 15, 20 seconds, however long. Rotations are more precise if you've got batteries. Well, can't be anything but batteries. Because if your power starts to die, then with seconds, it won't go as far in that amount of seconds, but as rotations, you'll always have to complete that amount of rotations. So if you can, try and use rotations. Finally, here we have a brake and a coast. So after your motor, if you want your motor to stop straight away, then brake. But coast is in the keep going until the momentum dies away, and then it stops. Stops it dead on. And finally, if you want your robot to turn a corner, you can just drag this. So make sure you got this one B, this one C, or CB. As long as they're the same as that. All you got to do is just drag this bar here, and as you see, that'll change. So that's very severe left, and that's very severe right. So that's in a straight line. Excuse me. So that's basically that. So after what you do is you can either, like I said before, download or play. I haven't got an NXT connected at the moment, but there is a video coming up on it moving in a straight line. Well, I hope this has been helpful, and there'll be another video out soon. Thank you, bye. So the program we just made, the going forward one, this is what it basically looks like. So all it does is makes the robot go in a straight line. I've had to stop it because it didn't finish all 10 rotations. But as you can see from the bottom, both C and B are moving. So that's all working fine.